Most people don't stay in debt because they're bad at math. They stay in debt because they lose motivation. And that's exactly why the debt snowball method works. Even when people say that it's not optimal, if you've ever tried to pay off debt and quit halfway through, this video might be the reset that you actually need. Because the debt snowball isn't about interest rates, it's about momentum. Here's what usually happens. Someone gets serious about debt, they Google the best way to pay off debt, and immediately get overwhelmed with formulas, percentages, and spreadsheets. On paper, the math perfect plan sounds great, but in real life, people don't stick with it. And if you don't stick with the plan, it doesn't matter how good the math is. A lot of people try debt consolidation. That's where you take out a new debt to pay off the old debt. But really, all you've done is move the problem around. The habits that caused the debt are still there. And now they're hidden under one big number. That's not progress. That's just camouflage. I can see in some cases where it may make sense if the interest rates are a huge difference. But if you don't eliminate that habit, the debt will come back one way or another. There are two popular approaches. The debt avalanche method. Sounds epic, right? Ride that avalanche. Wrong. Here's how this works. You pay off the highest interest rate first. It minimizes interest paid. Makes sense on paper. But the reality is most people don't stick to it. The debt snowball method, you pay off the smallest balance first. Ignore interest rates. And what this does is it'll build confidence fast. Here's the key difference. One optimizes dollars, the other one optimizes human behavior. Research from TechU highlights debt repayment as a behavior challenge, not a math problem, validating why the snowball approach works well in practice. Here's the exact process for the debt snowball method. Step 1, list all debts from smallest balance to largest. Ignore interest rates completely. Step 2, make minimum payments on everything except the smallest debt. Step 3, throw every dollar at the smallest balance. Step 4, when it's paid off, take that entire payment and roll it into the next largest debt. This is where the magic happens because each payoff increases your available cash. Each win builds confidence and each step makes the next one easier. That's the snowball. It just gets bigger and bigger with momentum. Imagine your smallest debt is $500. You knock it out in a month. Now your brain says, wait, this is actually working. Compare that to spending 2 years chipping away at the giant student loan with nothing to show for it. Same effort, completely different psychology. Debt freedom doesn't come from knowing the plan, it comes from sticking with the plan. Back in 2015, 2016, I had about $35,000 worth of consumer debt remaining. At one point, it was about $65,000. For a while, I was going at the largest balance. And it was really demotivating because it didn't look like I was really making a debt. It took me years to just bring it down half amount. That year, I decided that I'll get rid of the debt within 2 years. And I started the debt snowball method instead. Started with my school loan, then credit cards, then car loan. Not because I earned a fortune, but because I budgeted aggressively, cut lifestyle expenses, increased income where possible, stayed focused. Thousands of people repeat this outcome every year with the debt snowball method. Because yes, it still gets hard. Here's what helps. Track progress visually. Celebrate each payoff without spending a ton of money. Stop comparing your timeline to someone else's. Keep your why visible. This is your race, not a highlight reel. For me, I had my why in the bathroom, up on the mirror. I had my why in the car. I had my why at the office. So I always remained focused on why I was doing this, and it was the motivating factor for me. What if I need my emergency fund? Pause the snowball, rebuild stability, then restart. Some people ask, should I use savings to pay off debt? Yes, except retirement. Keep a small starter emergency fund and attack the debt. Some may ask, what if two debts have the same interest rate? Smaller balance first, always, because the win matters more than the math. Debt freedom isn't about being perfect. It's about being consistent long enough for momentum to kick in. The debt snowball works because it works with human behavior, not against it. And once the snowball starts rolling, it gets harder and harder to stop.